I was meditating today on having a conversation with my younger self, and I asked myself, what would you tell yourself? What would I tell the 20-year-old version of myself? What to look out for? What are some tips? What are some things I learned that I feel were so necessary in my journey? And I want to share that with you today. But before we do so, first fun fact, I used to always wear these glasses when I was younger. So I felt like it was very fitting. But also, I want to introduce our sponsor, Skillshare. So Skillshare is an online learning community with tons of classes for creatives to explore new skills or strengthen existing passions. I've checked out multiple classes on Skillshare. Some of my favorites are Ali Abdal's Principles and Tools to Boost Your Creativity, Creativity Unleashed by Nathaniel Drew, and Social Media for Creatives by Andy J. I think my favorites was Ali Abdal's. I found it to be fun and consumable. He has a very light personality and he breaks things down for any viewer to understand. I believe each one of us was born to create. Each one of us has a gift within, and it's our responsibility to discover this gift, nurture it, work on it, and learn. Skillshare is created specifically for learning, so there's no ads, which means you can focus, and they are always launching new premium classes so you can follow wherever your creativity takes you. So I have a special offer. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get you a 1-month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. So if I could go back and have a cup of tea with my younger self and give myself a few tips, I think the first one would be, you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Because I didn't go to college or university, I felt like I had to prove myself because nobody was congratulating me in my early 20s because technically I wasn't on the traditional path. So no one was saying, hey, you're doing the right thing. It was quite the opposite. I just had people questioning me. I felt like I had friends' parents judging me, like my friends that went to university, and pretty much they were looking at me like, oh, he isn't going to be anybody. And I felt something within myself and I knew I was going to do something, but I didn't know how to vocalize what it was because it hasn't fully come to manifestation in my mind yet. I just felt it. And I felt the need to prove myself, y'all, like constantly. And I wish I could have just muted all that and redirected that energy towards myself, because it would have been a beautiful thing to take that pressure off. And that's another thing I would tell myself is take the pressure off yourself and be where you are, be present, be 20, be 21, be 23, whatever age it is, take the pressure off. Often there's pressure from our parents, from society, or pressure from ourselves. And it takes us away from the present moment of just experiencing life. We're not supposed to know exactly what we want to do with the rest of our life. Some people do, some people don't, but life gives you experiences which inspires you. And I think it's a beautiful thing just to be and to grow into the space that you are in, instead of always trying to grow to new heights and trying to outdo yourself and get to the next position. It's like grow into the space that you are in. Like you are in your 20s, you are in your younger 20s, whatever age you are in, grow into that, get comfortable where you are in that uncertainty, where those questions are, where that curiosity is, because now there's opportunity. And I wish I could just go back and tell myself and say, hey, take the pressure off. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Be present, recognize that your presence has purpose. It doesn't matter what your friends are doing. It doesn't matter what the parents are saying. But as long as you feel that you have gratitude and you are willing to experience life, then I think you are in a beautiful position. Another thing I would tell myself would be, realize that strangers are reflections, you understand? As I've grown older, I've come to really appreciate those random conversations in the supermarket or the Starbucks lineup or just strangers in general. And I received so much wisdom from people throughout my days because now I see strangers as reflections, like another versions of myself. And when I was younger, I was too shy to have those conversations. And I think back of all the missed opportunities, you understand? Not realizing that, it's one love, like everyone around us, like you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be shy. Like you could just say hi and that person may have something to offer you, or you may have something to offer them, which is a beautiful thing. And I really would tell myself, have more engagements with people, have more community, build those bridges, because people are bridges. You understand? You meet one person and they're a bridge to somebody else, and that individual is a bridge to somebody else. And I was a little bit too independent. Because I was shy, I wanted to do everything myself, and it worked because I learned a lot of things, but I still feel I cut myself off from the nourishment of having a community. And I would tell myself, focus on that. Focus on building more relationships. Focus on building those bridges, networking, and just saying hi to that stranger sometimes and having that conversation, because I do that now and I receive so much value from it. Wow. I just had the craziest deja vu right now. Sorry. Like, I have been here before in this very moment. I had to give gratitude. Sorry. That was so weird. Does that ever happen to any of you? Like, you just get like a crazy sense of deja vu, and it's so like, that was one of the most visual deja vu feelings I've ever had. I think another thing I would tell myself would be, slow down, slow down. I was in a race, you understand? Like, I told myself, I want to have $1 million by 30 years old. I want to have this by this age. I want to have this by this age. And setting these material goals and setting these things as goals, I wish I set more inward goals where I said, I want to work on my confidence. I want to work on my compassion. I want to work on my forgiveness. I want to work on the inner treasures instead of the outward things that I think are going to deem me successful or make me happy. And I think that happens to like everybody. When we're younger, we have this vision of ourselves and we put all these rules and timelines to our schedule. And that's the other thing I would tell myself is, be on your own timeline. We've all experienced time in a different way, right? Like, some people at 18 years old had a completely different life than another 18-year-old. Like, some had to like raise their brothers and sisters from like a very young age. So by the time they're 20, they're a lot more mature and they're used to responsibility, while some didn't have that responsibility and they have more of a childlike spirit. And no two journey is better than the other. They're just different. And I wish I didn't put so many timelines and rules and I had to do this by this age, because I was watching other people. Like, I would look at like a celebrity or somebody I looked up to and realize they did this by 27, so I got to do that by 27 or 25. And I wish I just paid attention to my own timeline and slowed down and nurtured my time and just be present where I was, because I let myself down so many times because I didn't meet certain goals. And when I look back, they were completely unsustainable goals. They were ones out of my ego, not truly out of my heart. And I would just tell myself, HINDZ, have some tea, because I didn't drink tea back then. That's another thing I would tell myself, drink more tea and slow down. You understand? You don't have to grow at an exponential rate. You can be where you are and you can develop a happy rhythm, a good pace, and just grow at your own pace. I think the most beautiful thing that I would tell myself is, it's going to be all right. Like, everything you want to do, you're going to do it and beyond that. Like, we set goals for ourselves, and the goals we set for ourselves are usually like limitations. Like, we don't even truly understand our full potential and our greatness when we are younger. And I would just tell myself, like, yeah, you know you're dope, but there's so much more. So just be open, be curious, you understand? And know that you're going to evolve every single day and you're going to change. Like, back then I'd said I would never grow my hair. I would never grow a beard. I was such a pretty boy. Now I'm like complete opposite, you understand? And I would just say, accept change, you understand? Accept change. Know that everything is going to change for the better. One of the last tips I would tell myself would be open to love. Be open to love. I was afraid of love. I never wanted to date somebody that I truly loved. And this sounds really silly because it is, but I just didn't believe a relationship at 20 years old could last forever. So I often would date people I was only attracted to on the surface level, not people I was attracted to on a deep level, because I didn't want to hurt myself. I knew I was sensitive and I knew I could fall in love, very easily with the right person. and I didn't want to go through that pain. So I blocked myself from love completely, and I just dated people that I could have fun with, or people that I had a good connection with, but it was very surface level. It wasn't depth. So that when we broke up, it was easy for me to move on. And that is so immature. That is so savage. You understand? But you know, behind every great man, behind every great woman, there's a lot of mistakes. And that was one of my mistakes. And I would tell myself, be open to love. You know, be open to heartbreak. You understand? Like, those heartbreaks are going to teach you so much. Those heartbreaks are a part of the process to cultivating your peace. Like I always say, peace is a process. You understand? And I was so afraid of going through those heartbreaks, so afraid of those emotions. And I'll go back and say, those emotions are your teachers. You understand? Those emotions are your friends. Be open to love. Be willing to love. And I just wonder if I did, like, what that would have done for my heart at an earlier age. And, you know, at the same time, we all make our decisions, and life is what it is. And, you know, I believe everything works out the way it's supposed to. But if I could have that cup of tea with myself, again, I would say, take the pressure off of yourself. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. Your health is your wealth. And be open to love. Embrace that uncertainty, because it has the spirit of a child. It has questions. It's full of curiosity, which means it's full of opportunity. And you don't know in hindsight, everything gonna be all right. That's a vibe thing. That's just a couple of things I would tell myself. To be honest, besides that, I'm very happy with the way my life has panned out thus far. And, you know, I had a child really young, and to me, I would not even tell myself to like not do that. I'm super happy that I did, because that taught me so much. And I'm just a firm believer that I have learned from all my mistakes. So I give gratitude for them. I don't have any regrets. And I say that with confidence. I say that very firm, because I have truly learned from my mistakes. And that is something that I am thankful for. So thank you.